there, and welcome to Let's Talk Loughborough, the podcast from Loughborough University that brings interesting interviews from staff and students, as well as the latest news from across our campuses. Welcome to our second season. My name is Jemima, I'm your host. I study English with Digital Humanities here at Loughborough University, but I'm currently on my placement with the university's digital team.
And I'm Soph, I'm Jemima's co-host. I'm the Internal Communications Officer at the university, looking after student and staff comms.
So today we're really lucky to be talking to Harry, the new Students' Union President for this year. So thank you for joining us, Harry.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. And so we're going to start off with an icebreaker question. So similar to last season, we had icebreaker questions that we'd ask all of our guests. So today's is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. I think at the moment it would be the ability to fly, because I can't afford to put petrol in my car. So I'd probably go with flying at the moment. It's the best way to get around.
Yeah, I'd say that's very cost effective, especially with rising petrol prices, but flying is a good one. I think mine would probably teleportation, along the same route. When you want to go on holiday, you could just zap, and I'm a terrible flyer. I really hate flying, so it'd be really good to just zap myself places. So what would yours be?
You know what, mine's also teleportation, because I'm a terrible traveller. I do not like any kind of travelling. And yeah, the cost of petrol as well is playing a significant part in that decision as well. So yeah, probably teleportation, although let's try and be different, maybe being invisible as well, just because that would be quite nice to just not have anyone bother me. Just be able to go invisible for like an hour, like do not disturb on Teams, but slightly more effective.
You see, I'm that person who would definitely worry something would go wrong in like my superpower. You know, those superhero films where like they get invisible forever and they're stuck, or like they're always flying. That's definitely my thought on that. So I'm happy to have no superpowers. But we're gonna go straight into the questions. We want to thank everyone on Instagram who submitted their questions, and you can do it for future episodes on our Instagram at Loughborough University. So our first question today is, what did you study at Loughborough?
It's probably not a surprise, actually. Politics with international relations. There seems to be a trend, Freya before me and now me. So it's definitely something in there. But yeah, politics and international relations.
I guess it does equip you for this role, being a Students' Union President and then studying politics alongside that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it definitely prepares you for the student political world. As much as you don't think it's very politics-like, it actually is when you get into it. It's quite interesting. So yeah, it gave me a good boost, got me ready.
Yeah, fab. And running alongside that politics, why did you run for president?
Well, when I first came to Loughborough, I came to Loughborough as a mature student. So I was just like, I'm just here to get my degree and then go. That's it. That's all I want to do. And within like my first week, I was approached by my hall chair to go run for hall chair. And it just sucked me in from there. And kind of from that time onwards, the union was like my second home kind of thing. And I suppose being a politics student, it was always, that could be done better. We could do this, we could do that. That was playing it into it. So just my passion, my keenoness overtook me with surrounding Loughborough Union and university. And yeah, it pulled me in. I couldn't escape.
I think that happens to every Loughborough student, including myself. I said I'd go away for placement. I'm still here, but it happens to everyone. We all love Loughborough, and it's so good to see that you want to do new things and you have that idea of what's going to be better and stuff. But for people who don't know, and especially freshers coming in and stuff, what is the process for running for president?
It looks like an intimidating one when you first look at it, especially if you're looking at it from the outside. But the union kind of helps you every step of the way. To start with, you have to nominate yourself, obviously. But yeah, so you nominate yourself and then you go through what can be, it's a bit like the normal general election. You're trying to get as many people to support you as possible going around campus. I think I spent all of my time on campus. I was on there from 8 o'clock in the morning, having breakfast in the dining halls until 5, 6 o'clock at night. And sometimes you have to go back. So it's a grueling, intense week, but it's definitely worth it. And you get to meet so many people. And yeah, it just adds to that Loughborough bubbly feel, I suppose.
I think I've seen you guys compare, and it's also so awesome how you guys do it. You really are not afraid to just throw yourselves in there. You're having breakfast in dining halls. You're doing all masses of things on social media. It's really cool to see, and it's a really fun process, I think. Have you enjoyed it? That's my next question.
I think that was a bit of a weird one. Because of how stress intense it is, some people get a bit antsy over it, but I loved every moment of it. Campaigning, the soapbox that the LSU hold, I loved it all, and it really kind of pulled me in. I don't know why, but it did. and I love being busy, so that aspect of it as well just really got me kind of involved. It's a brilliant life experience. Even if you don't go on to be elected, I would do it again just for the life experience. Honestly, it was amazing.
Yeah, thank you. That's so good to hear that you've enjoyed it. And obviously you've got the position, which is also added bonus from the whole thing. So going into your presidency, what are your goals for this year, and what do you really want to achieve as student union president?
My manifesto was a long one. So I won't go through all of it, but there's a lot that I want to get done that I don't think we have the time to do. I think, and we've got emerging issues, i.e. the cost of living crisis that we've got to kind of get on top of in a sense. So my biggest priority at the moment is that, making sure that every student can afford to live in Loughborough, supporting them in any way we can as a union. Overall kind of goals is just that consistency and engagement, boosting the engagement in the union. COVID knocked us massively, so we're still kind of recovering, and this year is probably about recovery. Still finalising that. It's the first year in the real world again, I suppose. We're kind of going back to the new normal. So yeah, just getting stuck in and boosting that all important engagement and getting people to enjoy the union again.
Yeah, fab. And you kind of spoke about this just now, but what do you think the biggest challenge will be? I know there's many challenges popping up here and now in current times. What do you think like the biggest one will be?
Probably understanding kind of how the union can do better as an entity, how kind of the business side of things can champion the student, but also weighing up both sides. It's trying to make sure that students are always at the forefront of all of our discussions, and trying to get that across sometimes is difficult. So the biggest challenge is just reinvigorating kind of staff, students, all of it, and that's going to be, that'll be the biggest challenge this year, is getting people back in.
I was just going to add that I think the work that you are already starting to put in, kind of you and the rest of the exec, is really admirable. You know, I've already had lots of meetings with people on the exec, and it's great to see how excited everyone is to really get stuck in again and really get people back in the union. And on that, I guess, how has the first few weeks been in this role? Has it just been chaos trying to get your head around everything?
A little bit of chaos, controlled chaos is the way I'd put it. That's probably still being quite kind. Jumping straight into what is like a very high management role, I suppose, going from a student to, I'm now full-time work, I'm now running an organisation, is very intense. And it is finding our feet in how we slot into that a little bit, and understanding what actually goes on behind the scenes. Because I think as a student, sometimes I was a bit naive to what happened behind the scenes, and then when I got in, I was like, oh no, okay. So it's that adjustment. So it's been chaotic, and obviously the all important freshers period coming up, that was almost day one. Sometimes before we'd even started in office, we were beginning to be involved in freshers conversations. So our time at the moment is dominated by that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And like Soph said, it is really interesting. Just you guys are so stuck in, and we can see like your passion for the union, which is great to see as well. So we're excited to see what you do this year. So as we're coming into a new academic year, and our freshers are coming, or they may already be here, what is your advice for new students?
Get involved with everything you can. I think there's a lot of opportunities that I missed in my first kind of few weeks, and there's a lot of opportunities friends missed, and grabbing everything you can. It's the one time you'll experience that kind of freshers feel, especially in Loughborough, which is so different to every other kind of uni. Just take advantage of everything you've got. The moving in day is an experience in itself. Take advantage of meeting people and leave your door open. Number one rule, just try and keep your door open, try and be approachable. You don't want to isolate yourself. So yeah, just be open, approachable, take charge, I suppose.
I think that's good advice. And am I right in thinking that with the union that you have a kind of give it a go week where you can kind of get stuck into things and try it out before you commit to kind of signing up for societies? Is that still the case?
Yeah, so Give It a Go Week is in the works now. And it's yeah, like you say, it's such important time. It's so you don't have to commit to anything. If there's fees, you don't have to pay any fees. You get to try it first, because the last thing you want to do is pay for something and hate it. So yeah, take advantage of Give It a Go Week. Go to the society, the activities bazaar and the sports bazaar. That's where you'll find kind of your club. There's something for you at Loughborough. There's so much, you will find something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know Jemima's got stuck into a lot of things while she's been a student. Was there any kind of societies or groups that you were part of when you were a student?
So the first thing I came to Loughborough was basketball, because I played basketball elite for like 2 years and I love it. But also just going to the societies and like freshers bazaars. It was a bit different with my year because I'm COVID year, so it was all online. But in second year, when I got like stuck in stuff, just seeing it in that massive inside David Wallace, it's like massive. You have everything and anything, trampolining, going over your head. You'll love it. And like you get so many like good tips and you meet so many people. So I'd say definitely I enjoy the experience of going to Society's Bazaar. But no, definitely get stuck in. That is one of my like top tips as well, because I wouldn't be where I was today being like a host for this podcast if I didn't get stuck in and stuff. So you never know where it's going to take you. Just enjoy it and go with the flow, I'd say.
Absolutely, strong advice. What about you, Harry? Was there anything that you got into whilst you were a student?
A bit of everything. I went. I obviously halls was the big thing for me. I went on to be a hall chair and then vice president of the Hall Students Federation. So I really got stuck into kind of that hall environment. But alongside that, societies, I channeled my energy into a society, and yeah, I just took advantage of doing what I wanted to do instead of feeling like I had to do anything. I did exactly what I wanted to do and what I wanted to get stuck into. So yeah, like I said before, you'll find your clique, you'll find where you fit in. Loughborough's brilliant for that.
Yeah, it's important to mention, you mentioned hall life, which is a massive thing, I think, in Loughborough. Like, everyone is dedicated to their halls. They will probably die for their halls if they could. But I think it's definitely, for new students coming in, it's important to know that, like, just get stuck into your hall. There's so many opportunities in there as well, in terms of like committees, but also like sports, what are they called? ODEs, and like being part of the sports there, and like stash, welfare. There's like so many opportunities on your doorstep as well. You don't have to go very far to get something.
Yeah, halls is amazing. I mean, you can get, like you say, the media. You can be a media rep. So if your thing's editing and taking pictures and podcasts, stuff like that, there's even that sort of slot for you in halls. So everything is right there for the taking. Just take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And to shamelessly plug Let's Talk Loughborough, if there are students listening who want to get involved, please do get in touch, because we love hearing about your ideas for episodes. This is very much a collaborative effort.
Yes, and rounding up this amazing interview, thank you, Harry, again for joining us today. But our last question is for anyone who's coming to Loughborough, but what's your favourite thing to do in Loughborough?
Come to the Students' Union. Bit biased, I suppose, but no, yeah, there's enjoying the night outside of things, or even the Chinese downstairs, whatever it may be. It was my home away from home, so to speak, and just being on campus, that just wandering around, you will find someone to talk to. Yeah, just go for a walk. There are some nice scenes in Loughborough, believe it or not. Beacon Hill's amazing. There's some nice areas to go to. It's not all just the campus, so just take advantage and get the feel for the town and the area.
I can confirm that Chinese in the Students' Union is good. It's a good Chinese, but also what you said about walking. So being COVID year, that's all I had. A nice walk with another person, and I got to see some amazing things in Loughborough, and Beacon Hill definitely be one of them. Quite a hike, but if that's more your vibe, definitely do it. But also do it with your flatmates in like the first couple of weeks of freshers. You get like that strong bond as well. But there's so many things you can do in Loughborough that is for you. I think I've never had there not be something for someone in Loughborough. So definitely make advantage of that. So what's your favourite thing to do in Loughborough?
I feel like the last time we spoke about this, I said bonbons, and that still stands very strong. But to try and add a little bit of difference to my answer from last year, I would say look at what's on at the town hall. There's some really great theatre in Loughborough. I've loved seeing some shows there. So if that's your thing, I highly recommend, because there's some pretty good productions on there.
So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been amazing to hear about what you're going to get up to in the SE, and we're excited to see it as well. Don't forget that you can subscribe to Let's Talk Loughborough on all streaming platforms, or you can watch the podcast on Loughborough University's YouTube channel.
Thank you so much for listening, and feel free to share any future podcast episode ideas that you have with us. Thank you so much for joining us, Harry.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I hope everyone listening has a great rest of their day. Thanks for listening.